secret. Oh, y'all can hear me? Mic check 1, 2 with the countdown. 3, 2, 1. To the what is it? 1, 2, 3 to the vote. Okay, let me stop. Hello, my lovely people. Yes, we are live. Let me check. Mic 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 check. I'm just making sure y'all can hear me. We be having a little skipping. We be having a little skipping sometimes in the audio. In the audio, because I think it's the Wi-Fi. I don't really like get too caught up in it. But I know the difference because I usually have my Ethernet cord plugged up. You know, all these content creators don't tell us about that. But yes, hello. We are here today on this lovely Friday. I hope you're ready for the weekend. Hope you're ready to enjoy yourself. I hopefully won't be long. And unfortunately, I figured out that the college scorecard actually is working. But since I'm on this hotel Wi-Fi, it's not working for me for some reason. And I don't know why. So let's get into our disclaimer. Then do our disclaimer, and then we get into the rest. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Hope y'all got y'all. Hope you got your water. Hydrate. And I went to the gym and I'm a little sore. Did push-ups, but I think Wednesday I did real quick. Wednesday I did what did I do Wednesday? Wednesday I did shoulders and chest. I did that underdog training. Workout. It don't take much to get that workout in with that underdog training. It don't take much. I'm gonna plug this computer up too. Give me a few seconds. All right. So, y'all probably seen the computer I had too, which should be helpful. Disclaimer. We are surprisingly getting real fast with this. We're getting pretty quick. So, disclaimer. The videos presented here are for informational purposes only, and therefore, if you are to choose to attend the institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at the institution you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, representing any institution. Speaking on behalf of creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience. Okay. Let's have fun. Now, guys, I'm not gonna tell you no story. I am really like kind of getting. I feel like I'm getting hungry again. I feel like by the time this live stream is over, I'm gonna be asking for some funds to eat some food. I think I'm just gonna use like I think your boy's gonna make a run to Waffle House tonight because that is what working out does to me. It makes me really hungry. It makes me want to go do eat. Another eat. It's crazy. All right. So first things first. Let me see if I got anything on LinkedIn I wanted to talk about. This is interesting. Is he talking about colleges or is he talking about um I just got this. He posted this 13 hours ago. So I'm gonna take a look at this, guys, with us. But let's do this. Got some saved items on here before I start. The first thing I want to talk about with you all is I'm gonna jump straight into it. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I want to talk about why you should really take a break from social media. As you guys know, I feel like I'm a humble person. Um, Sometimes I only debate with people I really know, and sometimes they get out of hand. And so I don't really debate with people I don't know because you never know where a conversation or a debate can go, and how people don't know the difference between debating and shaking hands after, like a sport. Debating is a sport. I wasn't a debater in high school or nothing. Should have been a debater in college, um, but I do want to talk about taking a break from social media. But it's not me. It's not me. Like I'm like big anti social media, but I understand I need it for business. Um, One day I might get back on Instagram. Might be soon. I don't know. I think Instagram might help. I'm still finding my lane with this industry because this is unique. This is very unique what we're doing. So it's kind of hard to find a place to put it on social media. But the article that I found from my subscription that I have, let me share my screen. I hope they don't have a video. Do they have a video in here? Because I'm gonna be upset if they have a video. No, they don't have a video. Okay, so I can start. It's by the Washington Post had posted it, and so it's about higher education, of course. And it was written by. Do they have the author on here? They do not have the author on here. Let me see. Oh, yes, they do. And you see that last name. This is what I deal with all the time when I'm trying to pronounce names to you all. This is what I deal with all the time. So it's an article by the Washington Post. If you're wondering why I'm whispering, um, I will get hyped eventually. Trust me, it always comes in. So phones ruled. So it says phones ruled their life. Ruled. I don't know if they mean ruined, but phones ruled their lives, like controlled their lives. A new college class helped them break free. So if you've been watching me, like I said from the beginning, if you're new, thank you for watching. But I am a strong believer in that you should not have social media on your phone unless you're really like making money from social media. I don't see the point in really having social media. I guess to help you out, I grew up in a time frame of like graduated high school in 2017. So grew up like not really having social media, then having it, and then so hey Curtis Walker. Curtis Walker here since day 3. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. And so a class at Loyola University, Maryland. Do I know that school? Oh yeah, I know that school. It's Loyola is, if I'm saying that right, they are a basketball school. If that's the same one. This must be a different Loyola. It's got multiple names for it. This is a Loyola University, Maryland. It is a private. Oh Lord, I don't want to pronounce that wrong. G Suite. It's like Jesus. It's not Jesus because you don't spell Jesus like that. But G Suite University in Baltimore, Maryland, established as Loyola College. Here since day 0. LOL. Enthusiasm, please. You have to give me time to warm up, Alice Marie. You got on to me about this yesterday. You have to give me time to warm up. I don't want to come on here shouting and people think I'm on some drug. You already know they say we be crashing out. We got to ease into it. We got to, you know, give me some, give me some time. Give me some time. Gotta get the traffic to come in. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And so this school, I never heard of this school personally. What's their mascot? Matter of fact, let's go to their school website real quick. You can see my screen. So, but you see it's in Maryland and Baltimore. So I'm assuming this is the same school, hopefully. So as we see, I love showing you the schools because they're like, I remember one time somebody told me like, well, you're doing content on college. Don't you think you'll run out of colleges to talk about topics? I said no. I said there's so many colleges. Like even if I run out of American colleges, I can just go once again, we could just go to another country and talk about colleges. Like there's unlimited topics. There's unlimited like, and so eventually people are going to start talking about colleges because they're going to be like, oh, I can do this better than him. Then we have the competition coming in. Then we got smoke. And hey, when I'm on Frank mode, I got like 3 or 4 aliases. So I'm in speaking mode right now. But don't make me turn Frank. I would change this name from speaking to Frank, and you'll get Frank. You don't want Frank. Frank ain't got no filter. You don't want Frank. So this school right here, never heard of it. Just wanted to take a look at it real quick. Look at their nice little website. I love college websites. They always make it look real nice. Top 2%, 99%, top 2%. It's more like, what more could you ask for in a college? So this school right here says Loya. Let me make sure I said that right. Let me make sure I'm saying this right, because y'all will let me keep saying this and don't tell me. Y'all don't tell me when I'm pronouncing words wrong. Pronunciation. Who? Loyola. 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 So this is Loyola University, Maryland and Baltimore. They said that they want to help students break free from smartphone dependency and develop healthier habits. I am a strong believer in that. I feel like our generation and younger are, and maybe a little older, really it's everyone, but I only focus on our generation. Loyola. Thank you, Curtis Walker, 6312. And so I am a strong believer in that we are on our phones too much. I really feel like we are on our phones too much. For a person who, advises students, some students that from experience and going to school with peers, they have struggled in school. Could it have been that they was on their phone too much? Possibly. And then you tie in like you want to party in college and do these other things in college that really does not have anything to do with really bettering yourself. Puts you really in the box like I am right now. Puts you in the box. And so Curtis Walker said it's a Louisiana thing. My professor corrected me on it too. Okay, I appreciate that. I don't mind the corrections. I don't, because my pronunciation is very, I don't know sometimes. Like my dialect is crazy. Like I got one of those singer dialects, like if I was a singer, you couldn't sing like me. That's how smooth my dialect is. Let me stop. So it's written by Dan. We're gonna call him Dan. So somebody said right here, Baltimore, Hessler student said they felt trapped in a phone prison. One student picked up her device 190 times a day. Yo, that's wild. I probably didn't even pick up my phone 50 times today. I probably didn't. I kept it in my pocket. I picked it up to check stocks, but that's probably the most I picked it up for. And trying to find topics to talk about on LinkedIn. Yeah. Another had downloaded 55 games. They probably didn't even have no storage. But if they got an iPhone, they've been buying up that storage. 55 games. So a third learned from an app that at his current pace, he'd spend 32 years of his life staring at the screen in his pocket. Imagine that app telling you that if you keep going at the rate you're going to spend 32 years looking at a screen. I mean, really, in reality, it's happening now. a lot of kids would probably be like, where did life go? Where did time go? Like, come on now, guys. We all know we could be victim of, like, I know I can go back in the time chamber on YouTube and look at old videos. Like, old videos. Like, there's so many, like, videos on YouTube, for example. I tell people delete all your social media and just keep YouTube. That is I've been hearing this word lately. Maybe let me ask the chat with my people in it right now. Do y'all know anything about rage baiting? I've been hearing a lot about rage baiting lately. I never heard of it until I started doing some military stuff, and they kept saying, "Are you rage baiting me?" And I'm like, "What is rage baiting?" So I feel like a dinosaur right now. I learned that rage baiting is like, I know something, but I'm saying it to make you upset. And I'm like, well, what if I go to college and I don't know something, or I know it, but I want to hear my peer or peers' perspective on something? And I'm like, that's not rage baiting. But I'm the type of person, I will ask a question sometimes, even though I know the answer. I just gotta ask. Is to make people intentionally mad. Yeah. Okay. Rage baiting. I swear. So it's like trolling, right? That's the same as trolling, right? Remember back in the day, guys? Um, back in the day, we used to say, "Are you trolling me right now?" Trolling somebody. It's kind of the same thing, right? I think they just put a different term on it. But then they took Hessler's digital detox psychology class at Loyola University, Maryland, and the numbers began to drop. The pickups fell often to 3 times a day, and then the 55 games were gone. Somebody said it really is the D phone. I quote, "It really is the damn phone." Senior Jack Carden said in a final class presentation in mid-December, like his 21 classmates, we already blah blah blah. The class part of experimental part is part experimental, part research, part group play, aimed to address the worsening phone dependency that psychologists say is eroding young people's ability to focus, sleep, and regulate their emotions. How many people in the chat right now scroll on their phone before they go to bed? Scroll. Now, fun fact, guys, I got this from my girlfriend because I didn't do this. I seen her do it and I started doing it. I will watch some videos, no lie. I will watch SpongeBob. I will watch SpongeBob before I watch it, and then just because of course, I hop into bed and I don't just go straight to sleep. I'm not a robot, but just the wind down, and then So, do anybody scroll? Like, you were supposed to get in bed at 10, but you end up scrolling for 2 or 3 hours, and then now you going to bed at 1 o'clock. Let me know in the chat. So, they said, despite growing evidence of a broad anti-phone push in schools, bars, and other social settings, colleges have largely avoided mandates that force students to disconnect. Colleges have largely avoided mandates that force students to disconnect. Why do schools do this? Theoretically, I don't have no proof, but I'm gonna say this. Now schools should do some mandates? It can go both ways, theoretically. So if a school helps you like kind of like put some mandates where you need to be off your phone and focus in class, that helps you pass class and stay in college, right? But if they don't, they like, well, if you fail, you could take more classes and we can make more money off of you. Because remember, college is a business. And if they can figure out like you fail a few classes, get a little extra money off you. Because remember, that tuition per credit hour makes a difference. Even if they raise it by like 2 or 3%, that's 2-3% for all the other students at that school. So just something to think about. Not theoretically. That's just me being doing some entertainment. So hopefully you bite on that. So though some professors have begun making their classroom phone free, that gap motivated Hessler, a practicing psychologist, to create the class at Loyola this fall, which she believes is one of the only of its kind in the country. Um, Phones. It was something I was gonna say. I've been asking people since I've been here in military, I've been asking people to delete all their social media as a challenge. And I said, I dare you to delete your social media and then you can add it back when I, leave and go back civilian. And they're like, no. I'm like, just delete it. It's only like 3 or 4 days. No. I'm like, just delete it. Just it's gonna go like you can get it back. No. I said you can keep YouTube. No. I'm like, sounds like, like, why do you need it? Like, if your phone or if social media is a stress reliever for you, yeah, you won. I feel like this is just my opinion. I feel like you're one hit away from crashing out. Cause like I haven't seen the movie, but I know they was talking about at one point in time this Obama movie. He like directed, produced one of them. I think he produced it, and it was like if all the Wi-Fi power or something shut down, and I'm like, I'm a little fearful because like people don't know how to act without their phones. Like we really live in a time where people don't know how to act without these phones. Is it really the phone or is it the social media? Because honestly, we use our phone. Most people say you can't go without a phone, and I get it because they took away the pay phones. Don't know why they did that, but they took away the pay phones. So some people might say, "What's a payphone?" And I'm like, "That's where you go to dial a number when you don't have a house phone near you." Just saying, guys. I am that age where we used to talk on the house phone. So yeah, so this cohort of young adults is getting missed, said Hessler. They need opportunities to get off their phones. Those opportunities began on the first day of class in August. Hessler told students the classroom would be completely analog. Many assignments would be to no phones, no computers, no tablets, just a pen and paper. She going old school. This psychologist is going old school with this. They ain't like no computers. Hold on now. But you still can't get on social media and other things and lose focus. I loved when you was on your phone. Personally, let me get a little water, guys. I love when you was on your phone. I'm gonna tell you why. When I was in school, when I was in college, I can actually say that now. When I was in college, are we looking good? I want to make sure we look good on the camera. Are we looking good? Are we clean? Okay. When I was in college, which is cool to say because I'm done with college. I really don't believe I'm going back to get a doctoral. But I love when you're on your phone because or when you got apps on your phone and all this other stuff because that makes it easier for me to get better grades in college personally. That makes it easier for me because excuse me. It makes it so easier for me. Um you're probably going to be late on your assignment. You probably would have had 100, but you was on your phone doing something on the computer doing something. I don't know. Not in your business, but you just slowly missed the deadline, and now you lost like 10 points today, another 10 points, another 10 points. Now you made it 70 instead of making this grade. And then you're just not unique. You're not genuine no more. You're not like authentic because you think like everybody else. Why do people think what's that word? Authentic. How you say that word? Authenticity. How you say that word? Authentic. Authenticity. Yeah, see, it's a very hard word. See, they already knew I was talking about. Authenticity, yeah, authenticity. Like authenticity. You don't have no authenticity because you're on social media. You're thinking, you're seeing the trend of what everybody else is seeing. Now you're talking with the same lingo as somebody. Now you're like, you're not original no more. You forgot where you came from, essentially. It's like you're brainwashed. That's why I put it in the thumbnail. You're brainwashed. And so, you know, so how can you be unique and advance yourself? I mean, you could be a worker then, I guess. Like I'm a worker, but you can't really stand out on YouTube because you just keeping up. Even when you're trying not to keep up with stuff, you're keeping up with stuff. Like speaking from experience, had social media a little bit in high school, still wasn't crazy on it. I didn't understand how you can get followers. I didn't understand how to get followers. Your boy didn't have the freshest fits all the time. I was fresh, but not fresh. Like I guess trendy on YouTube, trendy on what I had. Think I had Instagram in high school. I don't even think I had Instagram. What was popping when we was in high school? We had Kick. People probably be like Kick. I ain't had no Facebook. I know it. Well, I had Facebook in middle school. If you look me up, you probably can find my Facebook from middle school. Nothing crazy, just funny stuff like looking at the camera, using that the camera on the laptop. But all that to say is like you just won't be authentic no more. And how does this relate to college? Okay, so when you go to college, usually back then you were supposed to go to college to find yourself and learn to become who you are. It's hard to become who you are in college now if you're on your phone. Why does that matter? Now your mental health is beating you up. Now you are not like focused. And if you're not focused, you can't pass. If you can't pass, you can't what? Stay in school. And now you're forced to go back to square one or square zero. And so it's really, and it builds up, like they said, students were anxious at first. So like it's gonna build up anxiety as well because your phone is probably comfort. Like one of the most, y'all probably gonna laugh at me when I say this. Don't feel no type of way. But one of the things that I'm going to say it, people might laugh, but it's serious. Now I get some people do this, like I'm gonna just say it. Then I'll explain myself. One of the things that let me know that a person is getting anxiety of walking into a room when they walk in there, instead of reading the room to see what the people they're looking for at, they go straight to their phone and walk with their head down on their phone when they enter a new area. Like if I'm going to a room to, you know, or whatever room at a school. Like I'm going to the library, but I'm looking for someone. And then as soon as I enter the library, I go on my phone and I'm walking with my head down on my phone. So I already know your anxiety is building up. So you need to get on your phone to scroll as you make your way up the stairs or wherever you're going. I don't even know how you know where you're going if you're scrolling on your phone. But that's a way to know that for me to read somebody immediately that they're already building anxiety. They're not confident really in themselves. So they got to jump on their phone as soon as they enter a new space. So I don't think that's really healthy. And that easily is a way I can not talk to you, unfortunately. But please walk with your head up, please, because I would hate for you to bump into me. That just wouldn't be pleasant at all for anybody. But I'm a nice person. I'm not a whatever person somebody would think. So what if they missed a call or text? What if a parent or friend needed them right away? Hey, it ain't that urgent. It is not that urgent. Over the course of the semester, students perform digital fast. Digital fast. Is she talking about? Is the person who wrote this talking about digital fast like fasting? It's up digital. That's interesting. Digital fast, requiring them to give up an app or their phone for 24 to 48 hours. Yes, we were just talking about that. I haven't read this article yet. I haven't read this article, but that's exactly what I literally just said before. Like 24 to 48 hours without a specific app, specific without a specific where to go, without a specific app or your phone. Like really just like I actually do this sometimes, guys. When I go somewhere that I just know like being on a military base, for example, like one of the, if not the safest places to be. I leave my phone in the car when I'm going to eat, like in the defect. I leave my phone in the car, for example. Or if I know I just need to run to the store, but I know exactly where to go and how to get there, I leave my phone sometimes. But it's not intentional. It's just a habit that I try to build sometimes of not needing my phone all the time, because it's gonna come a day when I need to know how to get somewhere without a GPS. And I have to look at signs, I have to remember things, I have to ask people, ask that trucker, because my dad was a trucker. He knows routes and stuff like the back of his hand. That trucker don't use a GPS still to this day. I think he'll only use a GPS if he had to go. If he went out the country, he would probably use a GPS. But I still don't think he would use a GPS. And so so we're gonna skip through this a little bit because we hit the 30-minute mark. So we're gonna skip through a little bit. And then I think the last one I probably want to talk about. Let me see. Okay, I'll talk about this before, but you can find this article real quick. Phones rule their lives. A new college class helped them break free. The Washington Post, if you want to read it. But like we say, stuff like this, I like real life experience. But hey, articles don't hurt at all. They don't. You all make me look at articles, which is what I love, because I probably wouldn't be looking at this article if it wasn't for you all. So it says one day they played football outside during class. Another day they navigated a hike without a phone. And then Hessler also taught students how to have a conversation with no glances at their screens. And after some vented about rarely feeling they had a friend's full attention. Yeah. And so yeah, man. And we live in a time that you never thought you would see the day people can't have conversations. And then it's hard to have a conversation with people because they might get sensitive right away, because they already, like, imagining somebody getting upset about something they seen on social media. I actually put that in a paper in graduate school. I mentioned how a student could be working or studying at night, and then they picked up their phone, and then they see someone else. I know we talk about it all the time, guys, but it really happens. Like, I know this is a common thing people say all the time. You pick up your phone, you see somebody living a fantasy life, but it's different when, at least from a higher education standpoint, when students actually know these people, and then these people are actually taking trips or actually doing things. And so then you pick up the phone and you're studying, you busting your butt, studying whatever major or whatever you're doing. Then you see them in Greece, like, you in Greece? You in Greece? I thought we was in college. Oh, I thought you was in college. I thought you was doing this. And you in Greece? Now you wondering how they in Greece, why they in Greece, who they in Greece with, why once again, why they went to Greece, how can you get to Greece? You just going down a rabbit hole, like, because you seen them in Greece. And you might be a little upset. Then you might get irritated at the next person, because the next person, like me, I'm gonna use me as an example. I don't know nothing about Greece, but I probably heard Drake said in the song, and then he was like, Greece, where the food is amazing. I'd be like, you ever been to Greece? And then you might get upset because you think I'm talking about this person you see on social media who went to Greece. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I was just listening to Drake, and he said Greece was nice. And so that happens. And it happens so much. I feel like it happened to me more than one time, like just saying the wrong thing and I'm clueless on what happened, like rage baiting. I don't know what rage baiting is. I don't know, man. I'm out of the loop. I know who SpongeBob is. SpongeBob, the only real one, man. SpongeBob, the only real one who never got social media. Patrick never got social media. That's how locked in they are. Squidward never got social media. They really before their time. Like they never adapted to the bullcrap today. So before I switch to something else real quick, I did want to talk about that. I think you should always, while you're in school, last thing before, if you watching or you made it this far so far, if you are in college, I encourage you to delete your social media while you're in a semester of school, a quarter of school, or whatever. If you're taking college classes, you should delete your social media. And you can download it back. It's your phone. It's your phone bill. But I really encourage you, you should delete it while you're in college for the semester. It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. And then if you really can go longer without it, when you get next to a person or whoever, you just realize like you're just completely different from everybody. Not intentionally, not accident. You're just being you. You're just being you. You read this book, you listen to this podcast, and so I feel like that's a great step. So I did want to talk about that. That interested me because it really helps with college improvement. So one of the other ones. So this is a small one. I don't think we have to go into detail about this, but I will definitely look at this person though. What's his name? I will pull him up on Google for you. Give me a few seconds, guys. All right. So this guy right here, I did want to make this announcement. This guy right here just became the new college president of University of West Florida, I believe. Yeah, University of West Florida president. They say he used to be a Republican. He's a former Florida Commissioner of Education, Manny Diaz Jr. He is an American politician who is currently serving as the president of the University of West Florida. And then he served as the 28th Education Commissioner of Florida from 2022 to 2025. So this is one of those because for my people that don't know, Florida does, I believe it's for all schools. It's a state law in Florida. Florida does a closed search for presidents. I believe it's for all institutions, but of course, institutions can do their own thing. Should we like that guy? We're nonpartisan, Curtis Walker. We're nonpartisan. Should we like him? I don't know. And fun fact, some Republicans have better views on higher education than Democrats. And then, vice versa. But I just like whenever you do some good work, like if you're doing tuition freezes, if you finding ways to keep tuition affordable, navigate this inflation and all this going on, like I'm all for you. But honestly, it's no coincidence that he was the former, like we talked about this in grad school. It's definitely an institutional theory. Institutional theory, I probably use that the most. It's political and institutional theory. As soon as he finished his job with being a commissioner, he steps into a president role at the University of West Florida. That's a little interesting. It's interesting. And so the only reason I know about University of West Florida, though, I believe my college, Valdosta State University, played against them in football. It's a pretty good school. I never hear much bad about University of West Florida. But they do closed door searches in Florida. It's probably one of the worst things that happened in the state of Florida when that law got passed, because now it takes out faculty, staff, but really faculty. It takes out input from faculty about who should be the next president, college president, because if you don't understand the value of education, then you're probably not going to reinvest into the education. Your motives might be more business oriented, which is okay, but you'll be like, you might not have the best workplace for staff and instructors, and then you might bring in more students, but is it organized? And then we get down that rabbit hole. We go down that. So he's gonna be the new president. So hopefully we don't be talking about him in the next 6 to 12 months being fired or terminated, or he had this situation going on in his personal life, so he has to step down, which is code for I was doing terrible at my job. So hopefully he doesn't be that person, because last time something like this happened, it was Ben Sass. Ben Sass went crazy. Hey, nobody like Ben Sass, man. Ain't nobody like Ben. Ben was turned up. I be talking about Ben Sass so much. Ben was turned up. Ben was, man, 28, either 28 or $82,000 on sushi. You ain't talking about nothing with Ben. Ben was paying money. Ben was spending that money. Ben said, F them kids. That's what Ben Sass said. So as we keep going right quick, do I have something else? Yes, I do. So I just found this post. Let me click on it right quick. I just found this post on LinkedIn. Let me see. Oh, y'all can see it now because I slid it over. Forgive me. Catching up on hydration. Y'all see my post impressions? They go crazy. I get 138. 138. I got like 2 million connections on LinkedIn. I go crazy on LinkedIn. Don't play with me. Because if you play with me, I'm going to turn up. But seriously, though. So I found this post. I don't know who this guy is, but he's getting attention right now. He is definitely getting attention right now. I don't know who he is. His name is Eric Lamont. What school does he work at? He's in St. Paul, Minnesota. United States, of course. He's a provost and chief operating officer, which is interesting. So he was intern president / CEO for like 6 months at a school, but he went to Boise State University. Oh, that's his master's. He went to Boise State University for his bachelor's. He got his master's in kinesiology. Somebody should help him because he put it on here twice. And he got his doctoral from the University of Minnesota. So, and he did some work. Real person, I think. Yeah, he's a real person. He has 2,175 followers, 500 plus connections. So going back to this, so he's pretty credible, I guess. I won't say credible, but he posted about his opinion. So he said more schools will close this year. That's a bold prediction. And he said, and it could have been prevented. He said, I just read about another wave of private colleges closures and planned shutdowns, and it's the same story every time. Siena Heights, Limestone University, Eastern Narzen College. They will be gone by this time next year. Schools that look healthy on the surface are actually hemorrhaging. Oh my goodness. Googling it. Hemorrhaging. He used hemorrhaging. 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 You know he did. Hemorrhaging. I know he took kinesiology, but he ain't had to use a medical term. That just wasn't funny. What does that mean? Excessive or severe bleeding from damaged blood vessels. Why would he use that word? That's such a terrible word to use. But he said hemorrhaging money for years. Here Here what frustrates me. Most of these institutions had the data to see this coming. They knew their enrollment was declining. They knew their net revenue per student was shrinking. Gary Stalker from College Viability put it perfectly. When looking for at-risk colleges, the critical factor is trends, is what I say all the time. But if it's trends, then why are all these other schools up and running? Because there's plenty of schools like know a lot. I looked at a school I went to, I won't say which one, and they have a terrible balance sheet. But I guess like they said, I guess the enrollment is good at that school that I'm talking about. I'll never speak bad on the school and say their name unless they really poke me to. So trends are kinda, but let's be real, bro. Y'all not gonna close no like UGA, even if their enrollment is down. Come on now. They're gonna get saved. Like, let's be real. So if enrollment and net tuition revenue are down for the past 5 to 10 years, it is highly unlikely that a turnaround is imminent or even impossible. One bad enrollment year impacts a college for at least 4 years. I don't know about that. One bad enrollment, yo. So what about? I really don't know when, because actually, when disasters happen, recessions or stuff like that happen, more people go to college because they feel like they're going to need it. So I will let that ride. But one bad enrollment, and then it depends. Like one bad enrollment at one institution could be like a great enrollment at another, for example. Like a 2-year college could average like 5,000 students. That's good for them. And they did 6,000. But another 2-year college in the same area or in the same city does like 10,000 consistently, but they did 8,000 one, that's a very big drop. They did 8,000 he said year. They did 8,000 that 1 year. So one bad enrollment, I guess it'll be like a snowball effect because once you have one bad enrollment, it just keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming. So I guess I'm seeing it from all perspectives. Multiple bad years require multiple exceptional years just to break even. Schools need to start with revenue projections. They need to analyze every academic unit's 5-year performance and share that data with their teams. Most importantly, they need to act on what the data tells them. The institutions that avoid unnecessary closures will be the ones willing to have these conversations now, not later. So I will find that. I think I did if I didn't, but I would definitely find this insightful. But what I wanted to say was like I think schools should be more honest with their students and ask their students directly, what do you want from us? I don't think that's a bad idea for schools to do. Like colleges, like no matter what level, it's like 2-year university, private. Private seems like they're in trouble because a lot of people really, unless you got a household name, we just don't see the point. I hope they listening. I'm trying to help them out. We just don't see, like my generation, we just don't see the point of going to a private school at this point. Unless, like I said, unless you got a household name, we just don't see the point because there's nothing private no more. I can go on social media and find out what y'all do at the school. People can't hold water no more. We just talked about that. Somebody's going to post it, then somebody's going to find out, and then it's going to get back to somebody, and then be like, oh, it's not private really no more. It'd be funny if a private school really was so private, they said you can't have a cell phone while going to school here. Now that's big boy private right there. Now that's private school. Now that's private school right there. Now that's a private school. But yeah. More schools will close this year. Let's see. I am really going to be waiting on that to see more schools close this year. I'm going to be waiting on that. Some private schools, though, man, they pricey. Would anybody go to a private school? Would y'all go to a private school in the chat? Let me see. I think I got one more. I do got one more. Not I think. do got one more. I talked about that one. Where is it? You know I gotta talk about this one. I gotta talk about this one. Are they gonna let me read it? Let me see. Not them showing a video advertisement. This is what I gotta deal with when I read articles. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Yeah, we will be done after this. Cause I'm not doing a college review. I'm not trying to fight my computer or this, not my computer, this Wi-Fi to do a college review. We could just pick that back up on Tuesday. Home court advantage. We'll be back in the studio with no problem. I'm loving it. I feel like this is good. I'm surprised we're even smooth enough to even do live screens right now in this hotel. So, and then, so apparently there is something going on about loans. So it says, will states backfill student loans? Connecticut officials this week proposed a new state graduate lending program to fill gaps left by new federal lending limits. So this is what I was talking about. This is very important. I might get hyped and I might run into my hour 30 minutes on this because this is important. This is why I tell people, like, just because the Fed does it, which is like the executive level, like Trump and them, Trump administration, remember they put caps on. Before I even get into this, they put caps on like how much money you could pull out for grad school. Now I know some of you gonna fight me on it, but states can actually, like they said, they can make their own new student loan program in response to like the Trump changes. Why do schools want more loans? Because loans help schools stay alive right now. If these schools don't get more loans, they probably are going to be in trouble. Because if you can't get more loans, most students need loans to go to college. And you know me, I feel like if you need a loan to go to college, in most cases, speaking from an undergraduate perspective, but I think this is about graduate school. But in the undergraduate perspective, if you need student loans to go to a college, you don't need to go to that college. Just being real. You shouldn't go to that college. You shouldn't go to it. And that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Because I will see you and I will meet you. Now, you can give me a hard time because I went to a certain college and whatever. But, like, if we move, like, if we moving off, not even going to get into that, but if we just moving off, like, destiny and things are meant to be, was it meant for me to go to that college in reality? So now we finna get into this. So Connecticut is one of them. But let's see what's going on because Connecticut said they ready to lead. So can y'all see that? Let me see how I look on YouTube for y'all. Looks tiny. I'm gonna zoom in again. I'm gonna zoom in for y'all. So right here it says state officials announced a proposal Tuesday to help fill the gaps created by the Trump administration overhaul of federal student aid by creating a new loan program for Connecticut students. In response to President Donald Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill Act that implements tighter borrowing limits, new eligibility terms, and other sweeping changes to the federal student loan system, several Connecticut lawmakers and advocates said at a press conference in a legislative office building that it was time for the state to step in. So now the state is stepping in. So if you are in, for example, Connecticut, you're about to have a chance to borrow more money to go to college. So if you want to complain about why you have more student loans, why you can't get out of student loan debt, remember you accepted it from the state. So while Washington retreats from their responsibilities, Connecticut is ready to lead, said Democratic State Representative Greg Haddad is okay, co-chair of the legislature's Higher Education Committee. Now, this is Democratic. This is a Democrat. This is Democratic. Now, I know we had some comments about Republican before, but Democrats saying like, you're not, I don't know. In my perspective, I feel like the Democrat is saying you're not responsible enough to manage your money to pay for school. So we're going to give you money you don't have. Never made sense to me. I'm going to give you money you don't have to go to a college that will potentially, this is what don't make sense to me. This is what don't make sense to me. You say college is worthless. What's the point of going to college? And I can't get a job when I go to college, but you're going to borrow money. Listen to me. You're going to borrow money to go to college. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. If I can't afford, look, college I'm not going to get a job going to college. Why do I need to go to college? But I'm going to go borrow this money for student loans since I can't get a job going to college. Make it make sense. This is the YouTube channel that makes sense, but you just, this is just a YouTube channel that makes sense. It just makes sense. Like, if you claim you can't get a job, why do you keep borrowing money? Like, it kind of makes me like, and guys, I was a big advocate of not going to college. Like, I was a really big advocate of not going to college. Like, I didn't see the point of going to college at all. Just saying. Just an opinion. Just my opinion. And who is that? Martin Lawrence. You see him pushing that ad? Look at that. I think the TV heard me watching Bad Boys, because I was watching Bad Boys in the hotel room. And then, I don't know, I think they heard his voice or something, because I don't know why Martin Lawrence is showing up. But he funny. But while Washington retreats from their responsibility, we read that. So lawmakers proposal would invest in and expand access to the Connecticut Higher Education Supplemental Loan Authority, also known as Chelsea. Is that Chelsea, y'all? That's what that's called, Chelsea? How you pronounce? That's not Chelsea. That's Chesla. Like, literally Chesla. Financing your future begins here. I never heard of this at all. Never heard of this. We learned something together today. What is Chesla? So the Connecticut Higher Education Supplemental Loan Authority, Chesla, and create a new state-level graduate loan program in the upcoming legislative session to fill federal gaps. Chesla is a state agency that provides financing programs for higher education, scholarships, and other resources to Connecticut students. So I'm going to take a break from that and take a look at Chesla, because if you know what Chesla is, let me know in the chat. If you know what Chesla, hey, algorithm, do your job. Do your job, algorithm. Send this out to kids who are in, or parents, teachers, instructors, whoever are in Connecticut. Chesla. Send it to them right now. Push the video to them. I'm hilarious. So they do school loans. And you want to know another thing, guys, why I never put out loans? I don't understand interest rates really like that. Like, I understand them, but I just didn't understand it to the fullest to be like trying to figure that out and worry about that. So they do aid, applying for aid, types of financial aid, grants and scholarships, work study, parent and student loans. Okay. Is it true that the most expensive colleges offer the most financial aid? Is that true? All colleges and universities, regardless of their costs, offer financial aid, and some are even able to meet your full need. While the cost of attendance varies from college to college, keep in mind that different financial aid awarding policies make it difficult to predict which college will be the most affordable for your family. Literally, that's in their writing. Should I pay a financial aid consultant to help me? Most financial aid professionals and guidance counselors recommend not paying for services related to financial aid. Information about finding scholarships, applying for aid, and completing applications is available for free. See your high school counselor about local financial aid resources. Now, how is your counselor going to know about local financial aid resources if they, I don't know. I hear a lot of high school students tell me that, a lot of them. Now, they could just be telling a story, not telling the truth, but I know a lot of high school students who say, like, man, I don't even know who my high school counselor was. Just being real, especially if they went to a big high school. They be like, yo, like, this what I mean, like, this is outdated stuff. Like, I'm gonna have to get some services for speaking on behalf and like listen to that financial aid guru he got. Cause like I said, my financial aid guru was tough. Like, he was tough. He's very like, you know, he doesn't take risk when giving advice, because you can take risk with giving advice because the risk advice can be completely wrong. He always gave great advice when giving me advice about financial aid. Like, you would be in financial aid, you would be in student loan debt or borrowing money from financial aid if you stay on campus. And I was like, why? I was like, why would I be in student loan debt? Because you're trying to stay on campus. I hate the camera. Because you're trying to stay on campus, meal plans, and da da da. So I said, well, I'm staying on campus. Look like I'm getting a job again. Thought I wasn't gonna have to work when I transferred to Valdosta State, but I was wrong. So then I started applying for jobs. Like, it's that simple. Why would I go get some money from like Chesla? I don't know what Chesla do. They still didn't show me like what they offer. They just talking about some financial aid basics. Do they got an investor relations on here? Nah, they don't. Is this the same thing? I think I've been on this before, guys. I really think I was on this before when I was doing some research for school. They have like the different fixed rate percentage APR comparison. I don't know if this, I think that's a real graph, but I want to see their lending. So our impact, they do about 62,178 in school loans, 626 million in school loan volume 1. Man, come on, guys, look at all this money out here. It's plenty of money in higher education. Like, it's so much money in higher education. It's not even funny. And so, okay, loan futures and terms. Loans are dispersed directly to the institution. That's good. No application fee or origination fee. No fees, period. No application deadline. Loans from $2,000 up to the total cost of education per academic year, less any other financial aid received, to a cumulative maximum of $125,000. Loans for either current or immediate prior years educational expenses. Principal and interest payments over an extended 140-month repayment term after grace period ends. That's crazy. After the grace period, no prepayment fee, borrower death forgiveness, borrower total and permanent disability forgiveness, co-borrower. Yeah, man, if you really want to do this and go down this rabbit hole, not rabbit hole, but I guess Chesla, financing your future begins here. Hey, let's keep going. So the new program would need $10 million $10 million in state funding and use 20 million of Chesla's funds for a total of 30 million, said Josh Herlock, deputy director of Chesla. Haddad described the federal changes as a grave and unprecedented threat to the future of higher education in this country. Included in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act is the elimination of the Graduate Plus program. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was a big supporting person of the Grad Plus program. I think, don't get me wrong, I feel like if you need some loans, you need loans. Because if you do go to bigger, like get your doctoral, what's the other one, med school, law school, you might need some loans. You might, but oh, actually, it's right here. I didn't even see that. I literally just said those 3 out of order. I didn't even see that. It says a student loan option that helps graduate and professional students like medical, law, and PhD students pay for school. Effective July 1st. This is like, that's why I said that was a big change coming. And so it's interesting. Hopefully I can bring someone on who understands, like, I can look up the Grad Plus program and see how much money you borrow, but if I'm not mistaken, with the Graduate Plus program, I'm gonna Google it, but I believe it lets you borrow up to what you need exactly for college or that semester. So I'm gonna look that up real quick. Like, I put the information in front of you guys. I'm not gonna just, I might say the initial answer to see if I'm right or wrong, but as soon as I do that, Sally Mae versus Grad Plus. I didn't want to know that. I just wanted to know, I guess, meaning. I'm gonna say meaning. Like, okay, so this is where I would go. This is where everybody should go if you're trying to get the exact definition. AI overview would have been good, but I gotta look like a professional sometimes, right? So direct plus loans for graduate or professional studies, right? But we didn't want that. We want this graduate plus program. So direct plus loans, I don't think that's the same one. So now I'm about to use my control F skills. Okay, so right here, I didn't see that. It says a direct plus loan is commonly referred to as a grad plus loan when made to a graduate or professional student. Looking to apply? No, I'm trying to figure out what it is. To be a graduate or professional student enrolled at least half time at an eligible in a program leading to a graduate or professional degree or certificate. Whoop-de-whoop. I want to know how much. That's why I don't want to know the percentages, because at the end of the day, I know y'all hitting me over my head on these interest rates. So I don't even want to. And plus, I really don't know how to calculate it. I really don't. Some people probably know how to calculate it, but I never had student loans, so I don't know how to calculate it. Okay, here you go. So loan amount limits, because remember, this is about the direct plus loans for graduate or professional studies. So the loan amount limits, the maximum plus loan amount you can borrow is the cost of attendance determined by the school minus any other financial assistance you receive. So politically, in political theory right now, the state wants to do this. We lagging. Hold on. Are we back? I'm back. So theoretically, this is theory, but the state wants to do this because they want to help their schools in Connecticut do well. So if you can keep cash flowing money to these colleges, that helps the state look good. That helps people feel like you're helping me go to college. And then that's probably going to help with some elections. That's probably going to help some people get into certain positions. That's going to help some people. It looks good. Even though you're going to go into debt, it helps them look good. So if your law school, don't get me wrong, guys, I get it. If you like, I'm gonna use this term to clarify, but if you are, I don't like it, but I'm gonna use it because it helps separate the term I'm trying to say. If you are a first generation college student, right? You are the first in your family to, like, as I like to say, first in your family. I don't really think first in your family to go to like a school that is law, med, or doctoral PhD. I can see why you need this healthy loan, because you're trying to make a leap. You're not trying to like get a regular, I would say, like me, if I went to get a regular PhD or something, you're not doing something like, you're doing something, I guess, because actually PhD is over there. So I can't even say a regular PhD. If you're doing anything on that high level though, doctoral level, JD, doctor, all that, you're probably going to need that because you're going to be spending like $100,000 easily. But the thing about it is that kids, that's why I focus on undergraduate. Kids are spending hundreds of $1,000s, or families are spending hundreds of $1,000s in undergraduate. That's what's not making sense to me. So then you're going to go to graduate school again, or go advance yourself to go to graduate school because you need to become like a doctor to hopefully pay back this. I remember it was a clip on Dave Ramsey, man. It's the movie he made. I think I would consider it a movie about the borrowing. I forgot the title of it. And the dude was crying because he was a dentist. He had his own clinics and everything, but he just was not making enough to pay off his student loans. Like, he was crying. And I'm like, yo, hey, I don't know what to say. So by them taking that away, I feel like it helps you. Like, you just got to run it up. Like, you just got to run it up a little bit. Like, it just builds a reason. One of the people I watch, 9 times meet them, I won't shout them out, but I got to meet them in person before I shout them out. But they always say this. They always say, when I watch their live streams, they always say, like, you really got to learn how to invest. Like, going to college, like, most college students do this at bigger colleges. Like, if you watch the not the Big Short, Dumb Money. If you watch that movie, there were college students at the University of Texas, Austin, or Austin, Texas, like the school where Archer Manning plays football at, the Longhorns. And the college students around that time were doing, like, the GameStop. That was around the time when we had the GameStop meme stock, and they were making money, like 6 figures off of that, like shorting GameStop. That's where all this, like, to the moon and stuff comes from. But college students invest in the stock market, because that's just it's like a necessity. It's like they were raised in a household where a stock market is not like, I won't do it. Like, you got to do it. And just being around, like, those individuals, it's like mandatory. It's not like guys, when I talk, I don't talk for my, like, this is my way, do it my way. I pull from people I learn from, and I put it all together. Like, I love advice. I'm like the last person you want to tell somebody how to do something, because I will use your advice. And then you might get upset because I use your advice, and I took your advice. Like, you said, Henry, you should get this and do that and add this, add that. And I added it, and I'm doing it. And, like, my professors, they gave me feedback and advice when I was in college, and I added it, and I'm doing it. Like, all this right here is from them. So, like, you really gonna have to learn how to invest. And you can keep it simple. Like I said, SPY index. Of course, disclaimer, not financial advisor. I always say you should get your financial advisor first, so you can learn the terminology, learn the education. That's the importance of financial advisors. People think financial advisors, I don't really think they're there to help you make money. I think they're there to help you make great financial decisions. Because, like I said, for me, I don't really too much care about interest rates. But if I go ask a financial advisor, or the one I still have them. If I still go ask him, like, hey, what does this look like with this interest and all this, man, blah, 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 then he'll help me break it down and understand it. So I made a better decision. Like, I understand higher education really good, to where I break it down for students and parents all the time. So I think we should do that the same with our finances and other things. Like, we all need help. Like, don't forget, I was in special education. So I keep an open mind for everything, because I know what it feels like to not really, I really know what it feels like to not be intelligent. So that's a uncomfortable feeling, like, you look at something, you just looking at it and you're not comprehending it, and everybody around you just knows. But then you learn, when you keep reading and picking up things, you learn that, oh, you really don't know that much more than me. Then you start keep learning and keep learning. But I am a big, like, honestly, I'm gonna stick with my gut. I thought that was a good idea for them to ban this, but like I said, if you are in that situation, you need money. Like, this is going to prevent kids from families, or kids who wanted to go to law school, med school, PhD school. But you should be working while you're going to college. You shouldn't start working as soon as you get your bachelor. You should be working from the time you graduate high school, stacking up for that. That is where we're getting at. You should be stacking up from that. And so that's why I say this is why I say start at a 2-year. get your associate's degree. And when you get your associate's degree, that allows you to work sooner, like get a state job in the state, work at the courthouse. They get paid great money at the courthouse to do like really nothing. I don't care what state you're in. If you work at the courthouse, not the courthouse, if you work for the state at any job, really, depending on what you're doing, it's like, it's not really going to be, because state jobs don't go as fast as like a corporate job. And then a corporate job might have all these one-on-ones. They might have these evaluations, all this other crap that don't really mean nothing. A state job just be chill. You come in, they know you in school, they respect it. And don't tell them you military, they really gonna love it. And then that's good money for you to be like 19 or 20 years old. Versus like we talked about Walmart last time on the live screen yesterday, but you're going to get consistent hours with that associate's degree. So then you could be putting money, learning to invest with the financial advisor, tell them you want to keep it simple. Hey, I heard about this guy I'm speaking on behalf. He told me to do the SPY index, like to keep it real safe and do an index while I'm in school. Because then you don't want to be stressed about losing money. You want to be, index always, it goes down, but it always goes back up. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I keep it simple. And so once you do that and you've been working and you got your associates, you go get your bachelor's. Are you gonna stay in that city, or are you gonna do what I did? You're gonna go to another city, get a new job, get roommates. You're trying to save up for a PhD. I advise you to stay home with mom or whoever, if y'all got a good household, stay there as long as you can and keep running it up. So then you can easily run up 100K with no problem. If not 150K easily. So then you probably won't need the maximum plus loan. Like you won't need the maximum amount. And that's how you beat the student loan debt crisis we're in. Like literally that's what I did. I got my associate's degree. I worked in a way better job than my peers at my age at that time at 19, 20 years old. Then I went and got my bachelor's, and then I had like job offers from colleges. I have two job offers from colleges, and I accepted the full-time one at Valdosta State University. So I'm making full-time money while being an undergraduate student. People looking at me crazy. And then you did the same thing in graduate school, and then it's like, yeah, you was tired, but you really just have time. Like the sacrifice of it all, to be honest, is that you won't have as much time to be with your friends, your close ones, because you're like growing up fast. You got to grow up fast nowadays. So that's just me speaking on that. Get it? Speaking on behalf. Did not do that intentionally. And so just speaking on behalf of the students, man, I just want their teachers, I want their parents, I want the students, if they watch, I just want them to know that, because I didn't know this. Luckily, it just flowed that way, but I didn't know that. I didn't have no roadmap. I created the road so that you can follow it until they put some regulations on it, which they never would do because they need people to go to college. This is a way for us to add value to the American higher education system. Why are we not talking and speaking on behalf right now about this? Put me on the panel. Come on, people. Put me on the panel. So currently, Connecticut students receive an estimated $90 million in grad plus loans. It's not really much right there, but it's a quote right here. Y'all probably read that, but it's not really much to say about that. Is that what is that? My IQ. What's this? Last minute. I'm just looking at the advertisements. The Trump administration is also seeking to redefine which degrees are considered professional and qualify for the higher federal lending limits, a proposal that excludes fields such as nursing, public health, and social work. Is it when this article came out? Because I think they reneged on that. No, this is on January 6th. This is recent. This is very recent. They say January 6th, 2025, 2026. Yeah, it's very recent. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't know they didn't clarify nursing. They're trying to say nursing is not a that's interesting. That's outside. I thought somebody was calling. A proposal that excludes fields such as nursing, public health, and social work. Federal officials argued that the new caps on borrowing will push schools to lower the cost of getting a degree. Federal officials argue. However, many advocates in the affected fields have disagreed and say that students will bear the cost. Adam Waters, a PhD student at Yale University and the president of Unite Here Local 33, the graduate worker union at Yale, said that the Trump administration moves make education, make in quotations, make education in critical fields like nursing even less affordable and accessible than they already were. So that is true. Shout out to the Yale person, because nursing, the way it works with nursing, guys, as I was telling students, it's not easy to become a nurse. And I'm not saying like the classes are really rigorous. I got a question from Curtis. I gotta take this question, guys. I've been doing a lot of talking, so I'm glad I got a question. Curtis Walker said, do you think nursing should be considered a professional degree? If so, why or not? I think nursing should be a professional degree. I think so. It is professional, because if that person's not being professional and they're being lackadaisical, they can kill me. So I want my nurse to be professional. But it should be hands down, nurse, hands down. Thank you for the question, but hands down, I think they should. I don't know what they're thinking on that one, but they should hopefully change their mind, because we don't have enough nurses already. I think it's like help me out, Alex Marie, ain't you in the medical field? Don't we have, I'm asking a question, don't we have a shortage of nurses right now, if I'm not mistaken? And so when we get an answer on that, nurses, it's hard to be a nurse, because from experience, of course, being an academic advisor and just working in higher education and knowing people who are on that journey, the reason it's so hard to become a nurse, I think you get used to it like any career field. You start learning the terminology, it gets pretty simple and you're knocking it out, right? But it's really applying to the program that's hard. Like, I can't speak for no other state, but in Georgia, our nurses have to take English, math, microbiology, anatomy. Some of this stuff all runs together. I think they got to take chemistry. Don't hold me to that. They take these hard, I consider these hard classes like microbiology. They got to take biology. They got to take all these heavyweight classes. Then they have to make A's and B's in them, or straight A's. Then they have to take a certain test on top of that. And then it's just some other things. I've never been a nursing advisor, so I can't really speak on the details. But then if they apply to the program and don't get in, they have to wait to apply to the next cycle, because nursing programs move in cohorts. And then cohorts are, you're moving as a unit. So I got Alice Marie, Curtis Walker, and me right now watching. So, and another person probably, but we are all going to start this nursing program at the same time and finish at the same time. Start and finish at the same time. So you have to wait. So what do you do in that meantime while you wait? That is why I tell students, if you are trying to become a nurse, you should definitely get your ASN. I'd be encouraging to get the ASN first, then go get the BSN. Because imagine trying to get your BSN. And you don't even get in. You just been waiting. You could have had a better chance at getting into the ASN probably, and then or getting some certificates leading up to your ASN, then going to get your BSN. Like, literally, I feel like that's why community colleges are there. I feel like that's something like just from me researching. You probably won't hear that until later. We're gonna have some random YouTubers coming out saying, like, oh yeah, you should go to a 2-year because that set you up to get your bachelor's, bro. Yeah. No citations. That's how they be. They try to make a quick 5-minute, 6-minute video. I'm gonna be real. Talking about higher education, it takes time. Like, I tried making shorts. I feel like I was giving you misinformation, because you need to know the full scope of me explaining something if you have questions. I do the form videos like with the college reviews, but this is a very because like once you do something in college, like once you get to a certain place in college, like for example, if you pull out these student loans, it's done. You pulled them. unless you got the money on hand still. Like, I can't reverse your student loans. You got to dig your way out of student loans. Like, we can work around like what classes you should take, how you should take them, what school you should go to, you want to transfer, why you should transfer, why you need. We can work like that. We can maneuver. We can variable that. But once you get the loans, man, you need to go holler at them people that talk about how to get out of debt at that point, because that's not my industry, like my forte. Like, I can recommend some things to do, but I never been in that situation. So, you know, I'm just trying to be a preventer, not enable. So, great question. Other advocates at the press conference, including nurses, teachers, social workers, and graduate students, called on the Connecticut General Assembly to use state resources to mitigate the impact of the federal legislation, which they argue could hurt students and workforces. We are not going to let the Trump administration pull the rug out from under our nurses, our teachers, and our graduate students. We are not going to do that. So this is what the proposal is about. I thought that was going to be something. The new loan program would immediately support at least 2,000 Connecticut students. The new loan program would immediately support at least 2,000 Connecticut students. Slap said, I guess that's their last name, Slap said. He said the proposal would be one of the top priorities of the legislature's Higher Education Committee in the upcoming session. It would support at least 2,000 students, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, unless they sporadically give like 200 here, or at least 50 at this school, 50 at that school, 50 here, 2,000 ain't none. 2,000 ain't none. That is not a lot of students. Some schools have 30,000 students. A community college has more than 2,000 students, for example. So, but it said grad. So grad programs are smaller usually. So, we know the plan is not to just replace the Grad Plus loan program. The goal is to provide a more affordable financing option for Connecticut graduates. Okay. And then this was written by Natasha Sokolov, if I said that right. She is a reporter with Hearst, if I said it right, Hearst Connecticut Media Group, covering education across the state. She reports on both K-12 schools and higher education, from federal and state policy impacts to inequities and other issues. Does she have a LinkedIn? So this is how I found my people to keep staying up to date with articles. Like, they got LinkedIn, this helps me, but I don't think I probably have to like whatever. But why am I on Expedia? I did not click an advertisement. Story of my life. Huh? See this? What's good, Jalen Taubert? I don't know if that's Tisha or that's Jalen. It's one of them. But let's go back to CT Insider. This was actually good, but this is Connecticut based, so I don't really need that. I would save it, but it's Connecticut. It'll come back up one day. That's all though. That is all. We right at our mark, 1 hour and 30 minutes. I appreciate everyone who showed up. Appreciate the family for showing up. Whoa, 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 whoa. The family was in the building. What? Sorry, I walked away. Did you answer the above question? Sorry to ask again. Oh my goodness. I tell you. Man, I tell you, you came. Yes, I answered the question. Play it back. I'm just playing. I will answer it again though. So, for the above question, I did say, do you think nursing should be considered a professional degree? I went on a little rant, but yes, I do think nursing should be a professional degree, because I would want my nurse to be professional. I don't, I actually want people who are applying themselves to actually become nurses, I can understand how hard it can be to become a nurse. So, but I do believe in nursing school, like it's not cheap. It's not like they have to pay for other things like books. They have to pay for those, not the mannequins, but they have to pay toward that. I'm assuming like fees and stuff. It's not the what's I can say the most affordable thing to do. So yes, I do think nurses should be professional. It should be a professional degree for sure. I think higher education should be, but I think it don't cost that much for us to go and get a I think it don't cost us that much to I don't think it cost us that much in higher education to really get a like me a MIS in higher education. And you know, I'm wearing that degree out. I don't care what nobody say. My master's, I'm wearing it out because if I see a video about higher education, you better have some like we researched a lot. Shout out to the program again. We researched a lot. That's why I'll be wearing my hair like I do now, because I'm just like, you know, I gotta hop on here and talk about something. And fortunately, your boy don't have time to be making sure the haircut looks perfect. But we hit a 1 hour and 30. I want to make sure these people like this 1 hour and 30. It looks good when they click on the video. Thank you everybody for showing up. Peace, chicken grease, and we will be back on the live stream Tuesday at 8:15 like normal. We was a little late today because the jam, and for some reason Valdosta traffic is just slow. And then what did I eat today? I ate what did I eat? Breakfast. We had a breakfast burrito from the clubhouse today on base. We had a breakfast burrito. We went and got that because the grill wasn't working at the DFAT. Yo, the grill wasn't working at the DFAT, or they just didn't clean it last night. So, or something like that. So we didn't have no grill in the morning. The grits looked stale. It was on some real military food this morning. So we went and got a burrito from the clubhouse on base. And then for lunch, I had a sandwich. So they literally made me like a sandwich you can make at home. I had a sandwich and chips. And then I didn't eat the Rice Krispie treat, but the Rice Krispie treat is on the bed. Give me a few seconds. I'll go get it. Give me a few seconds. How do I... Okay. So I got a Rice Krispie treat from the base. I think I had to show you all. I didn't write on it. You can write on it with a Sharpie, of course, if you want to. Would this satisfy? Well, you think this will satisfy my little hunger I got right now? I think it will. So I got this during lunch, and then you don't want to know what I ate for dinner. Dinner was terrible in the DFAT. Dinner was, they gave me some vegetable pasta that had no black pepper, no salt, and I had to customize and make me a salad to eat. That was awful. I ate that food, and then I had a Coke. No, I had Diet Coke to wash it down because it was something I just put in my body. And yeah, that's what I ate. I had an ice cream to finish it off, though. I bet people be like, dang, man, you had all that ice cream? Hold on, what brought you in? Well, I hope everybody eats like that in the military. You got government dollars. It's the DFAT. So so I should have took a picture of it so I could have showed y'all. It just showed y'all on the screen. I gotta start doing that. Like if I see some food or something in the military serving it, I'll be like, but trust me, all DFATs are not like that in the military. Some of them are amazing. At least in the Air Force, they're amazing, some of them. But I just unfortunately have a not so good one. So that's all again. Peace, chicken grease. I'll see y'all Tuesday, 8:15. Sorry, Mike. 8:15. And don't be strangers. Tell your people to come watch us. We got some pretty good graphics. Let me check YouTube. Yeah. We have some pretty good graphics. I think we look pretty clear. We look pretty good. So we have some pretty good graphics to be talking about college, and then you got questions, you know, and then it gives me a reason to call people who might or who do know more than me in higher education. I don't know everything in higher education. It's a very intensive career field, a lot of information. Remember, you could be a lawyer in higher education. You could be an investigator. You could be, kind of goes hand in hand with lawyer, but you could be so many things in higher education because we are like our own world of a whole bunch of smart A's who think they know everything. Now that is irritating in this career field. So peace, chicken grease. See y'all Tuesday.